This is video that we want you to see. Just hours ago, we took this video of the storm damage on the National Mall, okay? This is a huge mess to clean up, and this is just days before thousands of people are expected to show up for the 4th of July. So if you check 7 News Kristen Powers' Twitter, she has several videos, okay, of this big mess. Clearly, Kristen, there's a lot of work to do with so little time here.
Yeah, only a few days until thousands and thousands of people are expected to come here to the National Mall for the big fireworks show. And it is a mess this morning. Now that the sun's up, I've been moving around, kind of surveying the damage. And we're about Constitution's over there. This is 23rd Street. And you see this tree is down. The big thing I want to show you, and I put this on my Twitter, 7 News Kristen, this tree is snapped. And this, sadly, we've been seeing a lot of debris around the National Mall. I know they take pride in really keeping these grounds clean. They are not clean this morning. Over here, too, the porta-potties that were set up for the 4th of July prep, those are now toppled over. And it seems because everything is pushing this way, that's the way that wind or whatever came through here was. I do want to take some video because on the other side and really for blocks, if we want to take a look at your screen now, you see down fencing. Those fences were put up for the secure and restricted areas for when people were expected to come to the National Mall. Those are now all toppled over as well. So I just put another text into National Park Service. I have emails out to them as well, trying to get an answer on what the game plan for cleanup is going to be, because that's really going to be the focus today, considering we're just a few days away until the big fireworks show. If you are planning on coming down here, of course, we hope all of this is cleaned up by then. We have a full guide, WJLA.com. But today, just taking a look at this one more time, this is what crews are going to have to deal with as they try to clean up after last night's storms. At the National Mall, I'm Kristen Powers, 7 News.
Now to the breaking news in Arlington. That's where crews had to free somebody after a tree crashed into the side of a home, trapping them below all the debris. 7 News on your side's Carl Willis just got to that scene minutes ago. And Carl, what do we know right now, and is this person okay?
Well, Jonathan, from what we can tell, this person is okay. When we were arriving just about 20-30 minutes ago, we saw the fire department leaving the scene. And in the time that I arrived here, we talked to a neighbor who lives right next door to this right here, this damage. This is why those weather alerts are so important, why Bill breaks into programming to let you know about this, because the neighbor next door tells me that he and his family got that alert. They were heading downstairs to the basement to get to safety when they heard somebody shouting for help right next door. It turns out the father of this family, there's a man, a woman, and his child who live in this home. The man was on that front porch when the tree came down. You can see the devastation there. It actually sheared off the awning right in front of that house and brought down a line. That's why, Andrew, if you take a look at that line right there, you can see that the fire line is blocking off some sort of line right there as they wait for the other crew to get here and help out that situation. Now, talking to the neighbor right here, knows that it was scary right next door to all of this damage right here. He says that his family's okay, and he's just thankful that the people next door, this man who was right on his porch in that moment that the tree came down, is okay. He was taken to the hospital where he's going to get treatment, but believed to not have any life-threatening injuries. And just in the moment that I was here, just in the last 5 minutes, another neighbor came up and walked up and talked to us and said that a tree took off basically the back half of her entire house. So not the only one in this neighborhood to suffer some damage. Michelle?
Police in the DMV are seeing a scary rise in deaths from opioids. Montgomery County police are now sounding the alarm about a drastic spike in overdoses, and almost every death in the county is connected to fentanyl. 7 News' Tom Rousey is on your side with the often hidden dangers.
As a kid, Matthew was happy-go-lucky, outgoing.
But after Matthew Loudon began taking opioids, at times he was different.
It wasn't Matthew speaking. It was the substance that he was using, and it turned him into a really nasty person.
Then on Election Day last November,
he thought he was getting Xanax, and he had no Xanax in his system.
Instead, the pill the 21-year-old Good Counsel High graduate had bought had Ritalin and fentanyl, which killed him.
We're really sounding the alarm.
Montgomery County police have seen 52 opioid overdose deaths just this year, and pending test results could raise that to 70, a staggering increase. Almost every death has been connected to fentanyl, often put into illegally made pills that look like other less deadly drugs.
So you really just don't know what you're taking anymore unless it comes from a pharmacy.
It's an aerosol can that has a removable bottom that has a pill bottle that's actually glued into the bottom of this can.
Sergeant Pete Johnson showed us a trailer used to help families discover if a loved one is using opioids. Often they are hidden.
So Tom, actually, see this clock right behind you? It's not. It's a wall safe.
But sometimes the pills aren't hidden. Instead, they're hiding basically in plain sight.
A medication bottle, no label, no nothing, and several different types of pills. That is a huge indicator.
I think I would have listened to my head more than my heart.
Dina Loudon says sometimes when confronted with concerns about Matthew, she went into what she calls protective mode. Now she tells other parents not to do that.
Even though you think you're protecting him, I hurt him more than I helped him. So I feel like I enabled him at times.
In Gaithersburg, Tom Rousey, 7 News.